like to call forward Mr. Ted Freeman, please.
Good evening, City Council.
Good evening.
It's another evening, of course. The first thing I'd like to do, okay, is read the oath of office, and just a reminder, maybe, of what all you have, agreed to in an oath. And it's very short. It just says, "I," so whoever you are, "do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Colorado, and the Charter and the ordinances of the City of Pueblo, and I will, to the best of my ability, faithfully perform the duties of office or employment during my continuance therein, and to the best of my knowledge and ability, maintain an efficient service in the city, free from partisanship, distinction, and control." Well, that was an oath that you all took. At least you should have. Now, the interesting thing is, when we come to the city charter, okay, that's that's sort of our constitution. And as I have observed, okay, that you follow the city charter when you so desire, or you don't follow the city charter when you so desire. So you do sometimes, and sometimes you don't. But your oath says you will, okay? Now the city charter, if you have a problem with it, it has a way of changing it. And that's why citizen initiative or the city council can go out and put it on the ballot and change the city charter. It doesn't mean, okay, that any given time you can go against the city charter at your will. The electorate has that ability to change it. You don't. So the oath says you will follow it, okay? So in the future, I would certainly hope that you'll consider following the city charter. And one of the things that I have, and we talk about, enforcement of our ordinances and so forth. And one of the things the city charter says, okay, and number one, of course, I've mentioned this many times, that the primary duty of the city manager is to enforce the city charter and its ordinances. It's the very first primary duty. But it's also the primary general duty of the city council to give the city staff and the city employees the resources to enforce those ordinances. So you're at task also. So it's very important that you remember this. When you spend money on these things, you're taking it away from something else. The safety and the quality of life of our people. So one of the things that I also have been concerned very much with respect to the city charter is competitive bidding. I've been fighting this thing for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. So long I can't even remember. And that's got to do with 7-29 of the city charter, where it says that professional and technical services are exempt from competitive bidding. If I had the wherewithal and resources and so forth, I would certainly go out there and do that, and write an initiative up and go out and get all this stuff. But I find, that there's a will, a fight in the city to go against that. And I'm sure I don't quite understand. Because one of the things that comes to my mind is when we talk about, as an example, the Memorial Hall renovation and the fighting of what goes on about, hey, is it $5 million or $6 million and so forth. And I don't understand that. Why it's not clear cut as a bidding procedure. It should be A, B, C, D. And hopefully the city will have the money to fund that project. As an example, when you go out, for a building or a renovation, you go out there and you say, okay, you identify the functional aspects of this project. What's it for? What's it going to do for us? What are its constraints? Is there size constraints? building height, site constraints, material constraints, whatever. Those need to be identified. And maybe even put a cap on the dollar. But then you go out to, to the architect, and you say, okay, here are the functional requirements, and then so forth.
Mr. Freeman, I want to thank you for your comments.
Is it, my 5 minutes?